Right, I was going to say, Ticcy, we start recording right now, so we are on the record. I just want to say real quick, bro, just beforehand, because I always have to do this with people, with any guest, never mind with a subject this delicate. Do we have your 100% bro full consent to use your voice and the recording?
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't agree to this, though.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Right. So I just want you to fully agree with us so that we're all on the same page so there's never any issues. Who's agreed to...
Just, yeah, you got my consent.
Thank you. Thank you.
The following show may include disturbing topics and information. Please watch this episode of the Forgotten Podcast at your own risk.
Before we get started and I introduce Ticcy as he's here with us right now on the call and in a party, I think it's very important to give some context behind all the controversy for those of you watching who are totally unaware as to what fully transpired. Back in early April of this year, Ticcy was exposed for allegedly being a child predator. Ticcy at the time was an 18-year-old adult who had allegedly asked a 13-year-old for nudes, and from what has been revealed over these past few months since the controversy, allegedly did it on more than one occasion.
I'd like to ask everyone listening to please hold off on forming your opinions until you've watched the full episode and heard the other side of the story. When covering a subject as delicate and serious as this, it's more important for us all to know both sides of the story before making judgment. With that out the way, Ticcy, thank you for coming on the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
That took way too long to make.
That did. We done multiple takes there for everybody listening. We done a lot of takes.
6 times, and I did it on my first attempt.
That's fine. I didn't do that. All right, we don't have to talk about that, man. I mean, that's another thing. All right. But yeah, Ticcy, thank you for coming on the show, man. We've been trying to arrange this podcast for a good little while. I think everybody here knows this. We've been trying to really arrange this for a good few months, and it's really good that we can actually finally get this covered and can nip in the head.
Actually.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, honestly.
9 months, something like that.
Something. I think maybe not as long as that was.
Even plans to do the podcast even before I got exposed.
That was right. Yeah. So there's been it's been there for a hot minute. I can't lie, 100%. But Ticcy, once again, man, thank you for coming on the show, bro. It's good to have you here, man, and good to actually be to sit down and talk about this. So you're more than welcome, man. So I think before we fully ask our questions, as you know, we've got quite a few here. I think a good place for everyone to start would be you kind of explaining how all of this really began in your own words, and what really originally transpired from your point of view.
From the accusation
as well.
from the exposing stuff. I'd say like what really
oh my God,
from the accusations, whatever you like to call it, from there really the very kind of beginning. How did this all kind of start? What happened with all this? I want to know. That's what it is. But go ahead, man. You take the reign.
I don't really know how to describe it. It just happened, really.
But how did that? Or let me ask you this. Excuse me, right? Because maybe that's a little bit too broad for you, right? How did you meet this person? Like, what really happened with it? How did it? Because all this controversy happened. That you got exposed. Was it DMs were leaked? I believe. Was that?
Yeah, they were leaked.
Yeah.
So the girl sent messages to a former friend, and then he released it into a Minecraft server that we were hosting together.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when it all went downhill for me.
Right, because obviously everyone's seen that from there, right? So I mean, okay, well I guess that's how. But how did you originally get in contact with this girl? Did you meet her via this Minecraft server? Like, what happened with that?
She talked to me first in a it was a different server by a different YouTuber's Discord server.
Okay.
And she had talked to me, and because I was probably like I think 1 point something K at the time, she's like, ooh, a channel, like a YouTuber she can talk to.
I get you.
So she hit me up saying, hey, how you going? And you got Snap? And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
So she was somewhat like attracted to you, not in like a weird way, but attracted to you as a person via numbers and YouTube. Is that like that was her gauge, she wanted to come over?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but that's what I felt at least.
Okay. Alright.
Because I've noticed that she seems to hang out with like all the people with over a K subs.
Why do you reckon that this is just me going off right now, but like why do you think that people allow her to hang out with them randomly? Because I don't usually see many people. I'm not sure if this is different on servers, of course, because I'm not much into Minecraft anymore. But is that a common occurrence that people just like get together as friends on servers randomly in big groups?
Yeah,
really?
No, it does happen.
I'll be honest, I've not heard much good about Minecraft YouTubers.
Yeah.
For me, I've never really been too much involved, and I'm guessing this is more like S servers, SMP kind of stuff, like in that kind of same, I guess, wig, that kind of same area. But I've never really known too much about that. But I guess that's okay. That's an interesting way to, I guess, begin it. Fair enough.
Overall, I've heard mostly about one girl. Like every time I've heard about the stories, I've heard about one in particular woman. But it was lightly implied by multiple other content creators that you have potentially, and I'm saying potentially, asked more than one minor for inappropriate photos. Is that truthful, or...?
It's false. It was only one.
Only one.
And it was the girl that we're talking about.
Why do you think people would speculate such a thing? Because that is a harsh allegation.
Of course.
It could be because I'm hated now in the world.
I know, but prior to this,
yeah, because it was it kind of all transpired, didn't it? Like at the same time, right? I mean, like you said, people hated you, obviously, right?
Because obviously now you can understand why people can muster up a bit of hate. But why do you think these people were so off the bat malicious?
Well, I really don't I don't know, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it's something I haven't really thought about. Because,
Okay, well, if there was something right now you could do, say you had the power to do anything, and you could go talk to an array of different people, what do you reckon your approach would be to the situation if you had to go back and speak to people and ask them the questions that I've just presented to you?
I don't. My mind's kind of shutting off at the moment because it's getting asked questions.
We can move on.
Too much, it's fine. We can move on.
Yeah, we'll maybe come back to that.
Come up and formulate an answer.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll go to the next question, Ticcy. So just so we can keep engaging this, right? Obviously, it's as clear as water. You committed a serious crime when requesting inappropriate photos from a minor. My question, therefore, is: did the police get involved after all this happened, and if so, who called them?
Yes, they did get involved. I called them on myself.
You called them on yourself?
Well, like,
yeah,
was
I
this
was like, you know what? I need to talk to the police officers myself, tell them what happened, and all they really did was just gave me a warning and took my phone away from me.
What did you ever get the phone back, or did they've kept that?
No, they've kept it. I think they've probably destroyed it by now, but.
So, right, you call them up. What did your parents say to this? Because obviously, of course, I'm guessing the police. Obviously, of course, they came to your house. They know that questioned you. Did you end up having to go down the station?
No, I didn't.
I ended
up going to a hospital because I was contemplating suicide the night before.
The night before.
In any way, do you reckon? Did you have this sort of thing beforehand, or do you think this is in any way related, like the thoughts going in with, the attempt at trying to get images off someone that shouldn't be spreading out that sort of material?
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Yeah, no problem. I was just saying, did you have these thoughts prior or post having this interaction? And do you reckon in any way, if yes, you had them afterwards, do you reckon it fueled them, or is it what's the cause of the thoughts and obviously the suicide stuff? Was that in any way linked to the obviously trying to obtain illegal images and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It was prior.
Oh, so
you
had it beforehand?
Yeah.
Like what, the nudes?
Well, no. Like you had the suicidal thoughts. Was this and the attempts and the thoughts? Did this just come, or like what was the story?
No, it was there for ages. During the time it was happening as well. I also had it.
Okay.
Before.
Right. So, and I'm guessing this kind of more or less just fueled that even more so.
Pretty much.
And so, was that what led you to phone the police the next day?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And go ahead. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there.
No. I wasn't really going to say anything.
Okay.
Just add in again. Sorry, but did you call the police over the fact that you might do it again? Do you feel like you don't have self-control, or was it like a moral thing?
I do have self-control. It's just morals, because I was like, "What am I doing, mate? Like, what have you done?" It's like myself has woken up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so
this is childish and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I need to deal with this like a man, so I'm gonna call them myself and talk to them, explain everything.
Do you regret
And-
calling the police?
No, it actually helped me.
Okay.
And
It's kind of responsible. I
that's
respect
very, yeah, I think that's very responsible. I gotta ask, what did your parents say about it? Because I'm guessing they must have seen the police, of course, or like, how did that go? What happened with that?
Well, I only live with my mother, so my
Oh,
mother
okay.
and I talked about it. We talked about it after it happened. Like the police came to the house.
Oh, okay.
And I came home.
What did
came
she
home from
like
hospital.
have on that? Like, what was her first reaction to this?
She was disappointed, I would say that, but she wasn't angry.
Really?
Yeah, she wasn't angry, she was just mostly disappointed in me. Which I understand completely.
How did that
It's like,
conversation go though? Like, did she just like sit you down? Like, how did it start off? Did she start saying about the case, or just like walk me over what happened, because I need to know what.
And just say the very, like, bland details, and that's basically... No one on the internet is your friend, and all that stuff. And that,
It feels so vague and feels so like nonchalant about stuff. It's surprising to me.
I think
she
that.
was
Sorry.
disappointed, but it was very hard to remember what we were talking about because it's been like 8 months since that happened, so I kind of forgot it.
Well, okay. I mean, it's so. Did you initiate the conversation, or did she initiate the conversation? If you can remember that.
I did.
You did, and how, if you can remember, to even the vaguest detail, how did you begin that?
Well, I think I said from my memory that, Mother, I'm gonna be honest with you. Police are coming over to talk about me talking to minors.
Okay.
You said minors.
What was her response to that exact?
Oh right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say you said minors as in more than one. Sorry, but
yeah, I didn't, sorry.
That's okay. So just I heard that then. I was like, oh, would you be willing to go on? But yeah, that's okay. Sorry, Joseph, go ahead.
Yeah, no. What was your after you said that exact sentence? Surely you remember her response. What did she actually follow up with, and how long did this conversation last?
Well, this was before the police came. This little thing we're talking about right now. This was before they came, and basically she was disappointed, but we did talk. Trying to remember what we said. She did say something about the internet not being your friend, which I said already. I can't remember.
What's your take on that, by the way? The people on the internet aren't your friends. How do you view
she's
that?
not lying. Because once you do something wrong, they switch on you so bad. So quick.
Do you think that's the internet, or do you think that's surrounding yourself with the wrong type of people?
It could be both. I could be surrounding myself with the wrong type of people who influence me to do stupid things.
I mean, would you say, when you said it there, obviously, the people turn on you when you do something wrong. I mean, it wasn't like it was just, you said the wrong thing, or you were, you maybe said something bad. It wasn't like that. What
it
you've
was a
done.
Drastic mistake.
Yeah, I mean, would you say the people who did turn on you, as you said there, would you say they had justification for it? Would you blame them for it? Would you say that they were wrong for it?
I never blamed them. I understand completely where they're coming from.
So, is there any vendetta between you and those people?
No.
From your point of view?
Well, except for one person who keeps harassing me non-stop. But
Okay.
other than that, I'm fine with everyone not liking me, which is okay with me.
Directing more to the root of all of the problems and stuff. During the entire exposing Ticcy fiasco, the person who initially exposed you goes by the name Scarlett. I believe on Discord mentioned in one of her DMs to someone called Rez that you also dated another minor who was 15 years old. Was this also true or false? If you can't think of an answer, where do you think this rumour has arisen from?
If it is a rumor.
Yeah, if it
Pretty
is
sure I know
false.
who the girl was talking about, and I think it was... I literally... It's been a while since I've ever talked about this discussion openly to anyone.
Well, that's why it's so important to talk about it here.
like.
No, we totally understand. I think that's why it's so important to have a chat about it here and really kind of dig to the root and really get to know the truth. And I think that's what it's all about. I think people want to know the truth. They want to know the cold hard truth, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. People want to know, what fully transpired.
Yes.
Of course.
It was true. It was true because I remember one time I went into a Discord server that I owned saying, "Hey, what would you guys think if I dated this 15-year-old?"
Oh, dear.
And most of them agreed with me that it was okay because she was going to turn 16 soon.
How old were you, if you don't mind me asking? At this point in time?
I think I just turned 18. Yeah, just turned 18.
Is this the same girl?
No,
This is a different girl.
Different girl.
This
So
is a 15.
But you said
I
you
think
didn't
16
with
now.
multiple.
So what? I mean,
You haven't contacted multiple.
how long did you date the Eunice girl until she turned 16, or was it a short thing, a long thing? Did you become
It was
good
a short
friends?
thing because it kept going off and on,
What does that mean?
to the point that, okay, well, we dated like 3 times.
What was the reason for the disconnections?
Mainly it was me breaking up with her because she was very vague about how she responded to things. She wasn't like putting any effort in, so I was like, you know what?
And to what?
There's no point. Into our
So this 15-year-old wasn't being too. What is it you wanted out of the messages? What was the effort going into?
I just wanted love, not really anything of it.
How does one project love through a text with effort?
In your opinion, I think
Yeah,
everybody
this
has
is
like a
all
general.
subjective,
Yeah,
but,
of course, yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't enough.
I'd say like, be there for me if I ever need someone to talk to or something like that.
Okay,
Or like, just comfort really.
just comfort.
What was she doing that was not like? Oh my god, my stutter. What is like not sufficient enough? What was she lacking?
There was her very basic replies whenever she got mad. It was very hard to deal with when she got mad. Because she would go K with like the letter K.
Do you not think that's because she is 15?
She's maybe immature because she is, of course. She's immature compared to you. You're an 18-year-old grown man. She's a 15-year-old, young teenager. Would you say that? Can you see that as like that kind of makes sense? 'Cause a lot of immature, women or men as well, of course, right? I'm sure everybody here knows what I'm talking about. They often, they're going to act immature, but I mean, you've got to, of course, acknowledge the fact that if she's not being mature enough with you, that's, directly I'd say because the fact that she isn't mature enough for you. She's,
I'm unsure if you're picking up the same thing I'm putting down, right? But I think we've actually gathered quite a nice bit of information here. Because what I've gathered from this, and this is a good thing, and I'm not saying I'm saying that any of this is justified because it's not, but the good thing that we can take away from this segment is you were repulsed and you were put off the fact that she was acting like a 15-year-old, which is good. I think that's a benefit. It's still not justifiable,
but it's a benefit.
That analysis of the whole situation, the fact that you didn't like that this person was acting like a child, you didn't like, which is good. So
yes.
No, that was good to take away from that segment. Well, let's carry on. I've got a question for you, Ticcy, here. While I was doing some digging, so to speak, obviously, for this interview with you, Ticcy, I actually watched a lot, if not all, of the exposed videos regarding the controversy on you and whatnot. And one of them specifically created by a content creator called LG1000 Commentary. Not too sure if you've heard of this person.
I think this is the one I watched as well. I think I watched one.
Well, they personally commented, or you personally commented, excuse me, on the video that they made saying, and I quote here, hello, I am Ticcy on a new main account. Yes, what I did was wrong and I regret my actions, so I've taken measures to make sure it doesn't happen again. Rainbow backstabbing me feels a bit hypocritical since he stole a YouTube channel and lied and did the same thing I did, but I never did a video on him. The reason why I'm bringing this up with you, Ticcy, is because I wanted to kind of ask you, what was your relationship like with the character Rainbow before, during, and even after he was exposed for being a child predator? And why didn't you make an exposed video on him when he was caught?
Well, it was 2 ways of going. Because we met in 2019, me and him. I had another channel called Tick. I'm pretty sure you would remember this channel, Joe, because we've
No,
been
no.
friends for ages.
Hmm.
I had that channel called Tick, and he met me on that channel. And I think at the time he was still called Hell Plays, and he joined my stream. We kind of connected and talked, and so on. And then fast forward until like 2020. To when he got exposed. I didn't want to make a video because it was like, why bother? It's not really... Everyone's already done it already, there's no need to. And it's not really my type of thing to do. I kind of just stick to my own self, really, if that makes sense. And not like getting involved in drama or anything.
So, did you remain friends with him after this, or did you keep in close contact? How was your relationship with him?
I did.
Because that was before and during, but how was it after that?
I did hate him for like a couple months, but then because my what would I say, feelings, I guess, for him were like in a friend way, obviously.
Of course.
Came back and I was like, oh, dude, I miss this dude actually. So I kind of connected to him again because he joined my stream one time and I was like, it's Rainbow. And so I was like, okay, maybe he wants to talk. So he wanted to talk actually, which was kind of surprising because he kind of read my mind. And we started talking on Instagram, and that's where it escalated into us becoming friends again.
How did
close friends?
How did that talk go between you both?
It was kind of just us really asking how we were going, and like he asked me how my channel was going, and I was like, pretty good, because he joined on a Twitch stream that I was doing. He wasn't. He didn't join a YouTube stream. He joined on a Twitch stream.
So what I'm asking is, like, obviously, you know, you never made a video outright against him. You never did. You, if you know, I do apologize if you did say that there, and I don't believe you did do. But did you ever directly say anything to him afterwards, even privately? Did you directly say, you know, that was terrible what you done, or did you kind of just leave him to his own being, but distance yourself?
I did message him. I did say I forgot what I said, but I did make a whole paragraph just explaining how I felt about the situation. And that's really... And because his other account was terminated, I didn't know he had a new one, so... Not terminated, but he, like, deactivated it. So I messaged his deactivated account, expecting a reply, but he didn't make one. So... Yeah, I just kind of left it be there.
So, so he never actually received any messages from you regarding the whole situation?
Yeah, pretty much.
And, well, when you eventually spoke afterwards, did you address it? Did you say, hey, you know, what you did was fucked up? Or, like, how did that go?
We did. I was like, you know, people can change, and I see you changed. And you look like you don't want to do it again, because you know how it felt. Because you know how it feels. And so I gave him a second chance to only then fall into his path. Which I regret.
You regret?
I do kind of regret talking to him again, because I felt like he kind of made me influenced. Because we were around a bunch of children.
So you reckon that was his fault?
Not really his fault.
Or at least pushed you in that direction, sorry.
It pushed me in that direction.
So it was an influence?
Pretty much. Because, you know, he's acting like, oh yeah, I did this, but like...
How do you think he influenced you, by the way? I want to just put that out there.
Well, basically his channel's filled with kids. So...
I know that, but like, how does that influence you? Are you like, were you very like common partners YouTube-wise?
Yeah, I did a lot of streams with him.
Did he have a lot of friends that were like children?
He did have another friend that was 18 plus. Oh no, she was 17. But... Okay.
And let me.
That was really it. And then most of them were like kids who were trying to leech off him for subs.
I'm sorry if I'm being an idiot, but I just failed to see how that's influencing you in any way.
I mean, you're more just being in his presence. I wouldn't. He never like kind of incentivized you directly, did he? You know.
I feel like I'm not sure if you're on an alright foot now, but I feel like from what I know, where you've been on a bad foot with him, maybe you have a bit of
Resentment?
negative feeling towards him, and I feel like maybe that's maybe changing your perspective on how you view the situation. I'm just guessing here.
I mean, so would you say, because of the way you're kind of wording this, I don't mean to put it like this, but it's just from the way you're saying it. You know, you're saying him having a child audience and children around him a lot and whatnot, sort of influenced you. Would you say you're, attracted to children then? Or is it what is it? Because that's kind of the only, part I can take away from that there. You know, if you're influenced by children being around him, it's what is the children? What about the children's influencing you?
I don't really like children in that way. I don't mind them being around me. I don't ever think of like doing anything to them. It's basically, I don't know how to explain it.
Have you ever had those thoughts? Because you did publicly announce that you were dating a 15-year-old for a little bit, and obviously dating connotations, especially as teenagers, has never been a good thing.
No.
Yeah.
I fail to see that aspect. Forgive me if I'm digging too deep. I just want to find out the way that your thought process was working, because surely you can't have been oblivious to the idea. We're all guys here. We've all been through puberty. We understand how it works.
Yes.
So I feel like, I just don't feel like that thought wouldn't have passed through your mind.
It has passed through my mind, but I shrugged it off and said go away.
Yeah, you said it didn't, though.
I mean, we're being honest here, Ticcy. It's okay, you can share what you honestly feel. I think more people are gonna. No, I think we all understand. This is I think for all of us here, a very hard topic, because it's such an awkward and such a socially unacceptable kind of topic and whatnot. And it's such a very taboo kind of topic. But that's why I think it's important for complete transparency, and that's why we're here, Ticcy. So I mean, being genuine, you said you've had those thoughts.
Yes, but I never planned on actually ever doing it. So.
But you had the thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I had the thought.
You had the thoughts, and this was when you were with the 15-year-old.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay,
right.
So that's a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Shall we move to the next one?
I believe so.
Okay. We are on number 6. Just.
Yep. Number 6.
Okay. Something that definitely needs to be brought up is your sudden exit from the online world. This is something I heard about quite a lot, actually, when I was reading into this. But after being exposed, you deleted your YouTube channel, which at the time I believe had around 200 subscribers. If I'm wrong, please do correct me. 2,000, yeah. And, you also deleted your Twitter, Instagram, Discord, alongside with other social medias that you had. Why did you delete all of those socials as opposed to keeping them, I'm not trying to imply that you did the wrong thing, because personally I think deleting was the best choice, but other predators who have been caught, for example, Rainbow, didn't delete their social media. So why did you make it the choice to do that? So why did you make the choice to delete the social medias where you think other people like Rainbow didn't?
I felt like social media was pretty much ruining me. Emotionally.
In what sense?
And physically. All the toxic stuff, basically.
Such as?
Probably hate, harassment.
What were
who was hating and harassing you?
And what were they saying?
Yeah.
I've had some slurs. I've had like racism, even. I've also had death threats.
And have you taken them serious?
This is afterwards.
Yeah, after the entire deal, we're presuming. I was going to say the comments, like the death threats. Would you say you've taken them seriously, or would you just say you just acknowledged them?
I've acknowledged them. I'm like, yes, okay, I hear you, and yeah, I don't really think any much of it anymore, because I don't really do YouTube anymore, so it's not really my care factor.
Okay. Well, we'll jump into the next one then here, just so we can maybe come back to that one now. Back when the entire, controversy and whatnot started, another content creator and friend of yours called, I believe, PvPIX, correct me if I'm wrong here, had publicly commented on a YouTuber, Trail Plays, I believe their name was, video called The Truth Behind Ticcy, and they were telling people to shut the fuck up who were fairly calling you out or talking badly about you. We know that, that this person is actually a moderator on your new channel, and we've even seen him in some of your streams. So I kind of wanted to ask, what do you have to say about the entire situation, as they seem very protective against you?
They were a very close friend. It's a she.
Oh, my apologies.
She, I don't know how to describe this. She was very supportive, and, like, she understood what happened, and, like, yes, I made a mistake, and all of that, but I didn't ask her to do anything of that type, to go tell people to shut the F up.
Do you condone her doing that?
That was on her. She did it on her own. I didn't tell her to do anything with that.
May I also quickly add, you've used past tense here as well. Are you still friends? Because you keep saying were.
Yeah, we're not friends anymore.
Oh.
Why did that end up disbanding? She clearly, wanted to help you out a little bit if she's defending you this far. Was there anything that happened between you two?
She and I have dated.
Okay.
I basically do love her, but because it got complicated, and with lots of girls asking me now, for some reason, like 18 plus year olds, not I'm getting a lot of attraction somehow from 18 plus year olds this time, so thank God for that. Yeah, it kind of put a strain on me and her friendship / relationship thing. And so she kind of had enough and just blocked me.
So, is it the reason you've stopped was because you were getting too much attention from other women?
Pretty much.
In what circumstances this played out? Because I'm not imagining you walking down the street being chased by 40 women. Is this like DMs and stuff, I assume? Because,
DMs, DMs.
Because I don't understand that. Like, I assume this is like Discord or something?
Yeah, it's on a Discord server. It's Discord servers.
And how do you know their age is 100% 18 plus?
There's a couple dating Discords that I'm in, 18 plus only, and you can report like minors.
How do you classify that?
Yeah, it's not like they don't show you their ID, their passport. Like how does that work? I'm kind of intrigued.
It's not like a fucking customs. Discord customs.
Yeah, so I'm kind of intrigued.
No, I normally text the verified ones. The verified ones are the ones I go after.
I just still don't understand because I feel like it's very easy to fake your age.
I think it is. May I ask, this PvPIX, how old were they when you were dating?
She was 16. Yes.
How old
16.
are you?
18.
Oh, okay. So this was recent. How long have you known each other? Because it's them. I think like what me and Joseph were saying there was just them going to other people's content and saying shut the fuck up and all this kind of stuff. Do you condone that? Do you think that was okay for her to do that?
No, I didn't want her to do that at all. Actually.
Did you know she was doing this?
No, I didn't. Until I read the comments on that video, I was like, what? So I talked to her about it, and she's like, alright, I'll stop. And so she stopped.
What did she have to say about the situation? Because obviously I'm sure she must have known. She knew, obviously from your point of view, it was true.
Did she at any point stand in ever?
She did know that I did what I did, and that it was true and all that. But,
did she say anything to you?
She just said, as long as you don't do it again, I think you're fine. And, obviously I don't want to do it again.
So, at any point, because you said you were 18 when you were the 15-year-old, right?
Yes.
Okay. At any point, did these relationships cross?
What do you mean?
Well, you were 18. This must have been in the same general time frame. Maybe not the exact same, but when you were dating the 15-year-old, it seems you were the same age as you were.
The only reason I say such things is because you said you were on and off with both of these girls.
Mm-hmm.
So, were you intertwining between the two?
No.
Okay.
It was different time periods.
But you were 18, so this was all in the span of a year at least.
Yes. Beginning was the first 15-year-old, and then the second
the
part would be
first 15-year-old?
No.
Oh, the beginning of the year, is that what you mean?
Yes, the beginning of the year.
Okay. I was about to get worried then. Okay. Well, I feel like we should move it into a bit more of a comforting zone for you, because I know this is a very touchy subject. But I just want to ask, because I feel like this is something that we want to get to know everyone who comes on the podcast, because everyone here is a guest.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your relationship like among your family members growing up, specifically between you and your parents?
Well, I've never had my father figure in my life, so
Do you
because of
mind?
that.
Do you mind if we ask? I hope you don't know, but it's not too much of a source. But where is your father?
He's married to another girl.
Do you still see him?
No, I've never seen him.
Okay.
And how about you and your mother?
He doesn't care about me at all, actually.
What do you, have you? So you never met him in person or anything of the sort? Would you like to meet him in person?
I would, but I don't think he would care, really.
If you okay, usually in these scenarios as well, because my parents are divorced, so I understand the segregation aspect of this. But are you relatively close with your mother then? Because usually that's how it works, or any family member in particular. Yeah, see, and I'm sure you take a lot of comfort in that, which is nice. But at the end of the day, I feel like if a neglectful father figure, you don't have to worry about that. I feel like that's very common.
I think the reason why this question was brought up actually is because on a lot of psychological studies actually, Ticcy, a lot of people that end up, not always, this isn't always the case, but it can be.
I know exactly what we're going to say.
It can be.
I was going to spit them into it, but I'll let you take.
Well,
this.
thank you. Yeah. So, and a lot of psychological studies done on people that have been convicted, of pedophilia, with actually molesting children, or even just doing online, like sexting or whatever you want to call it. The majority of them as well they don't get a lot of love from their parents, and from the sound of things from you, I'm not trying to imply that. It definitely seems that you're, like you said, your father wasn't there and whatnot. But how loving is your mother? Is she very loving? Is she a bit distant? Is she, how is she very affectionate? That's kind of the word I'm looking for.
She does love me, but to a certain extent.
What does that mean?
So like, there's boundaries, are you saying?
Boundaries, yeah.
What do they consist of?
Well, she doesn't like hugs or kisses.
She's not very physical.
Pretty much.
Okay, no, this is actually quite useful.
This is definitely
Physical. Do you think you crave physical attention
because of your lack of it?
Do you reckon that
I'm sorry,
almost fed in?
right now.
It's okay. Listen, man. There's no shame in shedding a tear, being a little bit upset. And I know this is some very big questions.
Men cry.
Yeah, no, of course, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think when you really look deeply into, as we've already kind of suggested, Joseph and I, we were very on the same kind of page about psychology, and we really are quite invested into that kind of stuff. And with this is actually a very common trait amongst many people that end up being predators. The majority of the time they do these things because they lacked, and this isn't always the case. I do want to reiterate that.
Accusing you of this either, by the way.
No,
this
of course
is
not.
Very common science. I think I don't mean to dwell on old cases that we've gone into, but didn't Sean have a neglectful father?
He did. Sean's father wasn't there. Sean's mother was quite cold with them. Same kind of thing. It's often a very common trait with children who are neglected from their parents or who don't get enough. I guess really it would be affection. That's the right word for it. That they often grow up. Not always. Again, I really want to reiterate that. Not always, but it is a common trait with those who end up being paedophiles or into that.
I'd also like to quickly say, because this wasn't a planned thing, but I do want to say at the end of these questions, I think, Joe, if you want to do the same or you don't, that's completely fine. But I want to give my analysis on the whole thing. Because I feel like I'm slowly formulating a response, which
definitely
isn't entirely negative.
No.
There's definitely aspects where I'm like, okay, it's a bit dodgy, but I am honestly piecing bits together quite fairly and nicely, and I feel like I can come with a nice hypothesis at the end.
I'm definitely the same thing. I think at the end of this interview, I think we should all, we can go and give our things if you think.
We can give you a little bit of criticism, and we can see where we can go from there. I feel like this is going to be the highest and most regarded criticism you'll get.
Yes, definitely.
And I think this is good.
Good. Well, that's what I'm saying, Ticcy, man. Come, you can say you're with us, man. There's no shame in crying. Nobody's going to judge you for it, bro. It's okay. Take a breather, whatever. Tell me, are you ready to move on to the next question? Do you want a second? Do you want to get a tissue?
Yeah, no, we can keep going. I'll
Okay.
probably burst
Okay,
out
man.
with
At
these
any
things.
point, bro, if you need a moment, we completely understand.
We can take a break. It's okay. So my next question is regarding your apology videos, and it's regarding you talking about mental health within them. Is this for sympathy points or some other sort of thing? Would you say?
My mental health has been very atrocious, to put it blunt. With the constant suiciding or trying to on camera,
On
I
camera.
feel like I've let everybody down, myself included even.
Did
So,
you say? Excuse me. Sorry for cutting in here. I think Joseph tried to say. Did you say on camera? What did you mean by that?
When I live streamed with me trying to take my life,
When was this?
When was this? Yeah.
it's been actually a couple times. Not
Oh.
I'd say 5 times I tried.
Okay, I don't want to get into this too much because I don't
Well,
want
it's
you
in the
too
next
upset,
questions.
But I do want to say, no, I know, but
Yeah.
I don't want to like drill in right now.
Mhm.
But how recent was the most recent one? The streamed one.
I would say February. Yes,
Is this when you
February.
had your bigger account?
From stream. Yeah, this is when I had my bigger account.
So you had a somewhat decent audience as well.
Yeah. And
people
it was
say
very
anything?
bad to the point it had 50 viewers in it. And
Did people say anything?
to me on that day, yes.
And just live as well, because surely there were people talking about it in the
There
comment
was
section.
people
No one
laughing
watches
at
that
me.
and turns a blind eye.
There was people laughing at it, and they've also said they've screen recorded it, and so now people have been sending it to me. As in like you're a loser because you get drunk.
I feel like we're going to
literally
get more into this a bit later, but I just want to quickly say it now. Why the return if people have been so neglectful of you?
I don't really have returned. I'm just moving on Twitch and Discord, but I rarely use Discord.
But you have said to us that you've wanted to come back to YouTube prior. to the
But
podcast.
actually, yeah, before we even recorded this,
yeah.
actually.
Well, before we were doing the intro, you were saying
Yeah.
that you wanted to return.
I probably might and just not do anything, not make a Discord server, not interact with any minors or anything, and just do Minecraft content, and that's really it.
I see. Oh, well, I think with the next question, Joseph, it kind of ties into another thing if you want. So I do you mind if I take yours, just to kind of
You
acknowledge?
can have mine. I feel
Thank
like
you.
I'll just keep adding in.
Thank you. You're right. So, Ticcy, you said you're sorry, right? You're on multiple occasions now. On your channel, you've made, I believe, 4 videos regarding the whole controversy. You made Ticcy's apology, Ticcy's real apology, Ticcy's real unedited apology, and then finally the most recent one, which was the truth of the Ticcy situation. I'm innocent. I've got to ask, why did you make 3 videos apologizing and acknowledging what you've done, and then made a 4th where you pleaded that you're innocent?
I would also like to add on this as well after you've given an answer. So just when you're done, and like, there is something if you don't cover it, I want to add this on because there is something that's really lingering on my mind.
Well, I've had a friend who doesn't use Discord that much, so I think his account's deleted again. But he did come to Discord again to help me, I guess, sort out the problems. And he kind of confronted the girl about it.
Was this the 13-year-old?
Yeah, the 13-year-old.
Scarlett.
He confronted her, asking about why did you do all of this? Is it all fake? She didn't really give her much of an answer. And because she left, it kind of made me and the dude understand that it could be faked.
I'm sorry. How does her leaving imply that's fake? Though I don't get that sort of mindset. Do you mind explaining?
She didn't say yes or no. She didn't really give a response. She just said, "I'm not bothered dealing with this," and so she left.
Right. See, I've got to come in here. I had a bit of an issue with that video. The 3 apology videos, I saw those and I saw the 4th, and this was kind of where I felt a little bit conflicted because did you or did you not send the girl or get nudes, inappropriate photos from the girl?
She's only sent one on Snap.
Right. So you did. I thought I heard there was multiple, but was it?
It was like ages ago. before I asked on that day.
But you got it doesn't matter the time frame. You got an inappropriate photo from it, and you got an right. So and you received this and whatnot. Then that's the how does that? What does she have to prove? That's what I'm trying to. If you know what I mean, because it's you're saying here that she, that you're innocent because she couldn't, she couldn't say anything, she couldn't jump in. But you've already admitted that she sent you an inappropriate photo. No, this isn't just here. You've already acknowledged this. So why does she need to come in and admit it again?
I don't know.
This is what I wanted to play off quickly as well. The thing is, right. The only thing I don't understand is why did you lie in your title? You've admitted in this podcast that you were not innocent in that sense.
And publicly, already.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying, just for the extra clarification. But you've claimed in the title that you were innocent. But this is just not true. Like, I just don't see why you would lie about that.
I think I was going through a certain time period where I just wanted everything to go back to normal. I think I should have deleted it by now. I don't know why I haven't. I'm sorry about it.
No, I mean, you don't have to apologize. I think the person who needs the apology is the girl. I think I've got to be honest with you, Ticcy. I watched that video. Religiously, multiple times. And I've got to say, shame on your friend. Shame on them. Going in there and harassing this girl. I'd say it's harassing. How did she even get in there? How was she added to this group chat?
No, it was a Discord server.
It was a Discord server. So was she already in it prior? Or was this just some sort of like she was in it, he was in it, you were in it?
She was in it. She was in it, and then we got invited to it.
Right. And how many people were in this server?
It's a YouTuber named Rugged Turtles Discord server. So I don't know how many more. I think it was like 200. 200.
And I mean, your friend, though, he, is it a he or she? Sorry, did you say? Was it a he?
It's a he.
He, my apologies. Sorry, my apologies. He went in there, and I watched the video. He diligently, to an extent, went off at this girl, trying to say that you've ruined Ticcy, you've done this, you've done that. I mean, perhaps those things are true, but in reality, would you say you're the victim or she's the victim? Because that's the mindset I got from the video, was as if, you were the victim of this. And I felt like because of the title, because of the way your friend was acting, because of how she was treated, because of how everything was portrayed, it was almost as if you were the victim. Would you say that's the case?
No. It was just a time period of where I wanted to become friends with her again. And so I made that video. Honestly, it's basically
it's one of those things, man, because it's, I totally, you apologizing, you making videos saying, hey, listen, I done wrong, this is it. I totally stand by that. I think that's definitely the right way to go about it. You publicly apologizing, acknowledging what you've done, and continuously trying to sway away from going anywhere near where there's children. Definitely, I must commend you. That's definitely the right way to do it. But harassing this girl, I saw the video, and I was honestly, Ticcy, I was outraged, because I was like, wow, your friend, I don't know them. I don't know them personally. I personally, after seeing it, I really don't want to know them. They went after this, now I'm guessing 14-year-old girl, after she's went through all this whole ordeal, and they went into a server with 200 people in it, and they've said this. You've got to, I thought perhaps this might be a private conversation between, him and her or something. I didn't know the full concept, but I mean, Ticcy, that's in front of 200 people. He's just went, oh, you lied, you ruined Ticcy, but in reality, no, she's the victim. Yeah, I hope you know that. I want to reiterate that she is the victim in this entire ordeal, she was the one who, although, yes, you've had a lot of backlash, and yes, you've lost a lot, and I think that's very much been pointed out in this podcast. She is the victim. You're the one who is the adult. You're the one who, at the end of the day, received a photograph. I mean, I must ask, for context, did you ask for the photograph, or was it sent randomly, or how? What was the conversation behind that? I was sent randomly, so you just opened it up and seen it?
Yeah.
On Snapchat?
Yeah. She's also sent, like, many pictures to other dudes, so I'm not the only one.
Well, if that's the case, that really, at the end of the day, yeah, I can see why, you would be annoyed at her, why your friend might be, because it's, at the end of the day, you ignore...
She also takes, hang on, sorry. I'm just my anxiety is.
It's okay.
killing
It's
me,
okay.
so
Take a minute. Take a minute. It's this.
Take
This
time.
yeah. This is just. It's a bit of a. I know it's a bit of a rough question, but it's because it's. It was one of those kind of more pressing questions. I think more people were kind of confused at because it was just. You know, the 3 apology videos acknowledging what you've done wrong, and then the 4th was kind of the whole 180. It was kind of like you kind of undid what you've just done because you kind of went around and went, I'm innocent.
Honestly, man, if you need to take 5-10 minutes, it's completely fine as well. Like,
Totally.
I know how it is. People with anxiety. I'm dating a beautiful woman with anxiety, but I understand how it is. So I know, if you need to take some time, it's completely fine. Grab a drink or something. But if you're ready to continue, just let us know.
Yeah.
Was that a subtle flex that you're dating a beautiful woman?
Oh man, it's been good times. But this is not
He's
what
married.
this is about. I am married.
There you go.
No. There you go.
Well, yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm going to ask. So, Ticcy, it's just, do you stand by that video? Do you stand by what your friend done? Would you say they done the right thing?
No. I actually don't talk to him anymore. Actually.
When was the last time you had
Because-
a conversation with this person? Oh, because of that.
Yeah, because of that, I realized that doesn't seem right to do it in a public Discord server.
But you uploaded the video
And
to
so-
YouTube.
I was going to say the
That was
exact
still
same
during
thing.
the time. No, because that was on the same day that I was still going through that mindset. Until I realized, at least I think a couple days after it happened, that I was still in the wrong. And I'm still in
Mindset and physical action are 2 very different things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you don't. I don't know. It depends on the type of person, I guess. But I've seen a lot of things where it's acting on impulse isn't as common as people think. So I don't know. I find it hard to believe, but benefit the doubt in this situation, I think.
Wait, I've got to ask, have you actually, like personally, because your friend spoke in this conversation, have you spoke to the girl since this happened, Scarlett? Since all the whole exposing thing happened, even since everything, but you not.
The first day that I was exposed, I did talk to her for like a semi-second, and then we blocked each other.
You blocked it. Well, what did they say? What did Scarlett say?
Mate, honestly, I don't
Not
remember.
off the top of it. Okay, well, I mean, it's one of those things because obviously looking back at it, like you said, if the situation had been she had sent you, and she is a minor, of course, we have to acknowledge that, but she had sent you an inappropriate photo, unexpectedly, uninvited, unwelcomed, anything like that, I wouldn't say that is you directly being a predator or a paedophile just by opening that photo, because inherently if it's on Snapchat, you don't know until you open it, right? So
Trust me,
that's not wrong.
I don't think if you're unwilling and unknowingly opening
Totally different
something,
thing. Yeah.
Different thing. I mean, Joe
Totally
sent me
different
a
thing.
picture of a dog's ballsack yesterday on Discord, and I had no clue that was going to come through. Whatever's
get
on that
mentioned.
man's hard drive is not my problem.
You don't need to know. You're saying cat in the hat stuff, it's unreal. But listen, no. But at the end of the day, inherently that's not the problem. I think the problem is, of course, you after that happened. How long was it after that you actually had asked her directly, hey, can I get, a photo?
I know for a fact that we didn't speak for a month. Like, we did, but it was very bland. Like, hello, hi, how you going? Good, and that's about it.
What was your response after the photo, the initial one? What did you say?
I was like, no, we can't do that. You can't do that. You can't, because that can ruin me.
And what did she say?
She's like, yeah, okay, makes sense.
And
So
was
she never sent. Okay.
had you date? Like, was this like were you boyfriend girlfriend? And she was doing this as like a
No.
no. Right. So it just seems like it's something that you wouldn't really do sporadically. Did you talk
It's definitely
often?
not a spontaneous act.
Yeah,
it's
it's something that oh, here's a dick pic, it's something that similar
this
to
isn't
that.
Tumblr.
No, but it's something that's it's not something that happens very sporadically, I'd say. So were you speaking before this? Was there actually a ongoing conversation just as it happened, or was even prior to that, like a week or anything?
There was one, but I don't remember exactly what we were talking about. I think we were just talking about boyfriends and stuff, and I can't. Sorry, it's just hard to remember.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I've got to ask this as a bit of a small thing here right now, right? Because I don't know. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have two.
Two siblings, older, younger, brother, sister.
Sisters.
Oh, okay, two younger sisters. All right, okay. I mean, I've got to ask you this because obviously I feel like, although it's a very deep question, I mean, some would say then with that kind of mindset that, you know, you and with obviously your current situation with siblings, I'm guessing they live with you and your mother.
Yes.
Some would say that you are a danger to your younger sisters. What would your opinion be on that?
I love my sisters, but I do not love them in that way.
But would you? I mean, would there? I mean, how do I word this? Would you understand people having a fear of you being around your sisters? Has your mother ever had any sort of concerns about you being alone with your sisters?
No, she hasn't.
Never. Do you babysit or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think people's concerns are justifiable though?
Yes, no, I definitely agree with them. It can be, you know, a bit hazardous, but I'm not that dangerous in that way. If that makes sense.
Joseph, do you have anything to add on to that?
I'm kind of just putting stuff together for my ending conclusion, but like I don't think anything right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, you can proceed, bro. Next question.
You want me on number 12?
12.
Okay. When this was all happening, did you consider what would happen between you and your friends if they found out about your communications with this underage girl? Did it or ever even deter you or nearly stop you from doing this?
Yeah. It did.
So you're saying that your platonic friendships were very valuable to you and you almost decided not to go through with these things?
Pretty much, yes.
So
I love my best friend as well. He's like the world to me. And so if I was to lose him, I would probably not be alive.
is this a friend from in real life or an online friend?
Yeah,
or?
it's a friend IRL. Me and him have known each other for at least a good 8-9 years.
Interesting.
May I ask what pushed you past the whole friends holding you back and actually following through? Because you followed through. Why didn't that stop you?
I think something that probably because I'm, you know, we all know this, I'm horny. I think everyone is.
This is what I was saying earlier.
I mean, there's no comment here. Yeah, we all are, but I think you can't. That you know that you can be horny, right? But that doesn't.
I just don't think you can justify predator behavior.
No, because of that. Because of
normal human urges.
Yeah.
Hang on, I've got to mute for a second.
All right. Well, I think we'll take a break anyway to reset the recording.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yep, we're on the same wavelength. Everybody, stick around for part 2. It'll be coming up in just a second. Enjoy these unbelievably amazing advertisement breaks that are going to proceed that we definitely are going to make because we're probably going to not do that. Anyway, see you on a second.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode fucking 21. I nearly said 2. And we are back with Ticcy and, of course, my other host, Catman Joe. And we're on question 13.
All right, let's just jump right into it, shall we? So, with everything that has happened, has your personal life been affected drastically since the events?
Yeah, a lot.
In what way?
Mentally, physically.
What's the cause of these things? If you don't mind me asking.
The fear of like people finding out what I've done. Mentally, I would say like I'm drained, I'm tired all the time. I don't want to do anything.
That sounds more like depression.
Although I don't want to keep butting in, I just want to say, because although it is responsible to stay away, I would recommend from the whole, platform for a while to clear the air. But for someone who is quite scared of being found out, you do revisit the topic.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
With videos.
That's really peculiar. Because if I was in your situation, God forbid, I would say sorry and just leave the platform, or come under a different name at some point, like later down the line. I just feel like coming back under the same name and going on about the problem almost seems a bit counterintuitive. I think the perfect example, or perfect kind of, example of someone doing that, I would say what you just said, but then the correct way would be someone like Call Me Carson.
right? Like, you know, Call Me
Yes.
Carson, he took I don't know the exact amount of time, but he took a tremendous break from the internet.
I think like 8 months off.
Yeah, 8 months just gone, and he did come back with the same name, the same channel, but he took a huge break to really reflect and obviously I'm sure get help for what he done, which was nowhere near as drastic as this. So, I mean, what would you say, Ticcy? Why would you say you need more time away, or would you say that you don't?
Yeah, I was actually planning on, after this, at least giving it another 5 months, just not doing anything with YouTube.
Wait, you say YouTube, would this be YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, like the whole thing?
I mean, I might Twitch. Oh my god, I might stream on Twitch like very rarely now, if I'm ever bored. But yeah, that's basically it. Not touching Twitter, Discord only just for my friends. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Because I
Speaking
do
of
want to
people-
get the mental
there's more.
get the mental health fixed.
I
And
was going
like
to speak about that in my hypothesis and stuff as well. 'Cause, I agree with you on that one.
What are you currently doing to pursue getting yourself better mentally?
Well, I've gone to a psychologist. I've got
Right.
a psychiatrist as well. I do visit the doctor every now and then.
Have you
Just
ever... Okay, I have a slight problem with this. Have you ever contacted therapy above doctor's help? Because doctor's help is very situational in this field.
I think that's what psychology is, isn't it?
Yeah, psychology, I'd say that's more.
It can depend. Therapy is more... It's weird. It's such a broad subject. I'm not sure how it is in Australia, but I know over here in the UK, counselling at college and schools leads into therapy, and psychology is like
Yeah, no, I've got therapy, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, that works.
How often do you see your psychologist or therapist?
Once a month. But I want to like at least improve it to like maybe 2-3 a month.
What
Are
about
you
your?
paying them, or is this like healthcare education, like paid?
Oh, it's healthcare paid, so it's all
Okay.
free.
What about your psychologist? Because that was it
That's also
psychiatrist.
free.
And how often do you see them?
It's all free. It's also once a month.
And do you think
So
that's
Say these
enough?
people help you.
It does help for like at least a good 2-3 weeks, and then I start to go downhill again with emotions.
How do you reckon you can pursue happiness from now on out? How do you think you can try and fix that? You know, like try and at least not even fix it, but like try your best to pursue this feeling of feeling alright again. Because clearly, this, you know, that ongoing anxiety that you've still got lingering constantly.
Well, I did get told by all of them that the anxiety won't go away, but you have to learn how to control it.
Were you diagnosed with anxiety when you were
I was
younger?
diagnosed with, yeah,
Okay,
anxiety, depression, and bipolar as well.
Okay.
This actually this actually is something here that we didn't really get to actually acknowledge, and I think we just skipped this question just briefly. It's okay, no, but we did skip it. And it was a question here that, although it's not directly related to the controversy itself, Ticcy, I feel it's quite important to ask you, considering what has happened and what's transpired and whatnot. Do you have any underlying mental health issues? Like, if I'm being honest, it's like an ex-friend of yours, like you said about trying to kill yourself, suicide on streams. I actually seen on a few different occasions moments where you were breaking down in tears, crying in front of the camera, online in general. And I feel like it's perhaps something else is going on that we don't know about, that the viewers don't know about, that nobody knows about, and the back, at home, or perhaps in your own head. And that's kind of why I wanted to ask that.
My head is a very dark place. It's I think a lot. I overthink a lot too. So it makes me do stupid things, I guess. And because it builds up so much, I can't take it anymore. And
Do you speak to
yeah,
your
that's-
IRL friends about this, or anyone personally?
basically,
family-wise?
the only person I do is well, I don't want to say his name, so I'm just going to use his online name, Axery.
John
Well-
Doe. Okay.
So, I mean, but what actually do you, like, have you been diagnosed with specific things like schizophrenia, etc.? Any of these, like, have you been diagnosed with anything specifically? Except from anxiety?
It did say depression,
Depression.
bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
I think PTSD. I can't remember what he said. He said something with P in it. Could be PTSD. And there was another one. Yeah, it was a very long name. I just can't remember its name.
And you've been diagnosed with these? 100, like this is from the doctors?
Yeah,
Doctors, yeah.
A certified doctor, yes.
Okay.
Right. Joseph?
Mm-hmm.
14.
I assume.
Yep, 14.
I just didn't know if you were going to go on again.
No.
Right. Do you have anything to say, and I think this is a really important one, to the people who have made videos on you, exposing you, and, going on about you? Because there's been a few videos. Do you have anything you want to publicly say to them now? Before you obviously... You said you're going to go on a hiatus, so if this is your opportunity to speak to those people.
Well, I don't disagree with what they did, but it was kind of depressing that they leached off Rainbow's video to get attraction to theirs.
Do you have anything to say to Rainbow?
Just stay away from children too. It's not fun.
I mean, when you say they leached off Rainbow, I mean, well, he made a video, obviously, of course, exposing you, but and so did multiple other people and whatnot. But I mean, even if they were leeching off, at the end of the day, I think, regardless of them leeching or not, I think what they done was justifiable. I think, from my point of view, from many others, you cannot, and I think should not try and be annoyed with anybody for trying to bring attention to this matter, because it is about
this is awareness in a predominantly child community, may I ask? Like, there's a lot of this sort of thing.
The Minecraft community,
I was about to say, we've all heard of Minecraft YouTuber stereotypes.
Line Maker, etc. All these people.
A big case. I remember watching lots of documentaries on that, like the fake scratches, the sexual abuse, etc.
It's a lot of the Minecraft community is predominantly children. So I mean, this is another kind of thing that we don't have in here, but. Do you think you should stay away from Minecraft or any sort of kid-related games, Roblox, Minecraft, anything in these kind of forms, and stick to maybe more adult-oriented games to try and stay away from children, or minors at least in general, as much as possible? Would you say that's an idea that you would consider?
I mean, I do want to play Minecraft, but I don't want to contact anyone. So just play on my own. Don't play with anyone. Just play Hypixel or something for some reason.
Avoid the media, essentially.
Yes, avoid the media.
That's quite sensible.
At least for a while.
Yes.
How long is a while? Is this when you say a while? Do you mean 5 months? Do you mean etc. longer?
At least a good 6, 7, maybe 8. I don't remember yet.
How far? This is going to be a relatively tough question to answer.
Honestly, I would say a year because I want the year off.
Okay. Well. Okay. So this might be hard to answer, not as in emotionally, but just in general. But how far do you think you can improve yourself in a year's time? What will you do to pursue this and become a better person?
Not be so horny.
I think there's no laughing matter. I think there's nothing wrong with being, in that sense, aroused or whatnot. But
I do
that's not the issue.
Control myself.
I feel like
I want to control myself.
I don't feel like saying that you have a sexual desire in general is a justification for these behaviours, though. No,
I think arousal it can't be used, or even any mental illness or anything like that. It can maybe be more easily. It can help sort of, I would say, acknowledge other things that have maybe participated or contribute towards what you've done in your actions, but it is by no means a justification. It is no means justification for them, And I think, sorry, go ahead.
Yes,
it's all good. Do you think, and this is just a broad assumption right now, and I feel like it's something that could be useful. Do you reckon, because of all of the negative experience and emotion, etc., that the sexual side of things and the attraction side of things, because that is a naturally positive hormone, do you reckon that you used that above all else because it was the only thing that kind of made you feel a bit happy with things? Because I feel like if you're surrounded by so much negativity, do you reckon that one thing is what kept you going? Because you have mentioned it a lot, and we haven't brought up sexual attraction too much apart from the odd question.
Yeah, it is.
So you think predominantly you're working off that one positive emotion?
Pretty much.
I feel like that is something you should definitely bring up with your therapist.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna very deep question. Who we asked the same to another guest within the show called Sean Lee Gamer. And although this isn't written here and whatnot, I'd like to ask, and I love an honest answer, but I understand if it's a bit too difficult, or if it might not be the case. But again, it's similar to the getting affection from parents question. Have you ever been sexually assaulted?
Yeah.
Would this have been by I'm presuming a family member, or would this have been
Stepbrother?
Stepbrother. How old were you?
10.
See, I think Joseph and I are both on the same page here with our hypothesis about this, because I think it's I'm sorry if I'm to ask you that. I really am, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. I I deeply am.
It's horrific how we know this, because it is such a common science, and it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That you should never have had to go through that.
I'm very sorry for you, man.
There's
I really
a lot of psychological stuff there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's okay, man. Just speak, bro. Speak. Take your time, man.
I still get bad nightmares from it, so yeah.
Does your mother know about this?
She does.
Okay.
So would this stepbrother, if you want me asking, was this your mother's other son, or would this be your father's, or?
It would be not my father's, but like my stepfather.
Oh, okay.
On your as your mother's other half.
He was a drug addict, so he and his son didn't really have much of a connection as well.
So you think it's the same sort of situation where his son was led to that due to his negligence of his father as well?
I'm presuming.
Love and affection, yeah.
That's a fair assumption.
That's a very fair assumption. And do you mind if I asked it happened on more than one occasion?
Yeah.
It's okay, man.
I just want to say real quick, man. I think I hope you know, bro. You're very brave for admitting that, and I hope you know.
Say the same.
You're very brave,
else, bro. Whatever happens today, that alone is your own victory.
Yeah, man. Well done for admitting that, man. Like regardless of what anybody takes away from this podcast and what they take away opinion-wise of you,
deny that was
very
you.
Brave. That was very brave, man. I'm really sorry, and I want you to know this, man. I really am sorry you had to deal with that and you had to go through that, and I hope that you. Go ahead, bro.
I never intended to do what I did.
This is why we're here today.
This is why,
you are fixing yourself, and the thing is, right? You could have sat here today and declined everything and lied. You've told the truth. You've got through it. You've admitted to more than we would ever want from you, and this is your turning point. You can take this break. You can talk to your therapist. You can talk to these psychiatrists
and get help.
All these people, and you're on the road to becoming a better person again. And honestly, I'm going to just give you my hypothesis now. Overall, yeah, I don't think you're an evil person. I don't think that. I think your influence has been horrendously bad just due to life experience, but you've still got so much people around you that can support you. I'm sure your best friend will always be there for you, your mum, your therapist, all these people. And you can look back at this in a year's time, and I think you can use this as a nice milestone. I think you coming on here today will be such a valuable asset to you in the future. I
definitely agree, and to get my own hypothesis as well, Ticcy, I'm very on par with Joseph. I think I although it's hard for us as interviewers here to have to ask you these questions, because for one, there's an awkward air around it, and for two, of course, there are taboos. But I want to just say once again, man, I'm very, and I hope you know this, bro. Regardless of where you go after this or what happens after this, really. You're very brave for admitting what you made today, and you're very brave for acknowledging what you've made mistake-wise and acknowledging what's happened. I think when it comes down to it, like we said already, these are traits of predators online. And I don't think you're a predator. I will say that.
If I may add in quickly as well, before people go off in the comments, because I know there are some people that don't understand how this works. I do not condone or justify any of his actions.
Neither do I.
Some of the stuff that he did was very wrong. And honestly, I feel like punishments are, a good thing in preparation to stop people being like this. However, I don't think that Ticcy is a bad person. I think he has been influenced in the wrong way. I don't condone his actions. And I feel like if he takes all of this into account and in the right direction and in the right way, he will actually progress into becoming a normal person, a normal functioning person. I think that's amazing.
I definitely agree. Definitely.
Because I don't want people to think that we're justifying actions made that were very clear.
I'd like to say this to you, Ticcy, of course, and it's okay, man. Take a minute. And I'd like to say this personally to Ticcy, of course, if he's still listening. I hope he is, and also to the viewers. Exact same with Joseph here. I think a lot of people thought that we were going into this with the intention of, acknowledging that Ticcy was innocent, and that's not the case. What Ticcy done was wrong, and I think 100% there's no justification for what he done to an extent. Now, I know someone's going to be a bit upset with me saying to an extent, but it's the truth. I think we've got to acknowledge that what he done was very bad, and it was a horrible thing to do, and he should never do it again, and it should never have been done in the first place. And I really do feel sorry for the girl who was involved in it, whether she cares about it that much or not. Regardless, I'm sorry that she had to deal with that. But I think it's important to acknowledge these things that we've touched on today. The lack of affection from parents, the missing father, and being, sexually assaulted. And then Ticcy, I hope if you're here, bro, I hope you're listening, and I hope you know that, these traits are very common with people that do end up doing what you had done. And although what you done was terrible, and it's something that I don't condone, neither does Joseph, we do see past that to an extent. And I don't think you're a bad person. I think what you done was wrong, and I think you definitely need help for it. And I'm very proud and happy that you're pursuing that help, and I hope that you continue to pursue that, and you don't give in with that, because it's very important that you do continue pursuing that, getting professional help, actively. But
and it's not something you can't help as well, because you've clearly acknowledged your problems. And this is the thing as well, right? It's better for this to happen now than to grow up and then end up in a cell.
Exactly. Yeah, it's. I think it's important. Ticcy, if you want to come a little bit closer to the mic, we can hear you. Yeah, I just want to say, man, once again, bro, you're very brave for it, man. And once again, from both of us here, we are sorry that you had to go through that, man. And I want you to know that these traits that we've acknowledged today, and these questions that we asked you, were purposely asked so that we could try and understand more clearly what your background is like, and I think you having these similar traits to other people definitely shows, it gives a bit of an understanding as to how you could have went down this path. I wouldn't say it makes you innocent by any means, it doesn't, but I think what it does is it helps more clearly understand, it helps more clearly paint a picture as to who you are and how you got to that point. And again, man, I really am sorry that you have to deal with that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Also, to just paint things in a more sorry for cutting in, but just to paint things in a more positive light as well. Think of this as also, a warning for other people. This may prevent other people, and that's all because you decided that you wanted to come on the podcast. Yeah, you didn't just come on here. Good.
Yeah, you didn't just come on here just to acknowledge what you done and get told off or anything like that. You came on here and you admitted to what happened. You've the whole way through. You haven't passed blame. You've acknowledged things. You've admitted things, and I think I was very brave. And I think what hopefully this will do for other people that are watching, if they are in the similar boat or they feel they relate very heavily to what we spoke about today, I would advise them and anyone else who's listening who again does relate to seek professional help.
I also reckon we should put the phone number for Suicide Hotline in the description.
I agree, definitely. I got to say,
no one should ever have to go through that, especially over the internet.
No, exactly, definitely.
Never a good time.
Definitely. Our last question, Ticcy, I feel like is just as interesting as it would have been if we hadn't got that answer from you. Just as interesting as it would have been if we had even had a negative experience with you on this podcast, which I must say we haven't. My final question for you, Ticcy, for today is, why did you agree to come on the podcast?
I guess I just needed to talk to people, really.
Do you feel happy? Do you feel like, not right now, but do you feel?
Do you feel like you've got that closure that you wanted?
I feel like I've got what I needed, the answer that I needed, and now I can finally focus on myself instead of worrying about others.
I think you should use this, and a lot of others have used this as almost a send-off. You should use this as this right here, right now, as we do this, as the point where things really do change. I think, and I advise this to you as you know, as someone who has been very close to you for, you know, a good few years now. I would seriously advise you take a break from the internet. Take a long break. And I don't just mean from streaming and, you know, making content. I mean from watching YouTubers, from reading comments, everything. Take a healthy break for a long time. Like, I'm not talking years, but a good few months.
Logging out of your social medias. Maybe keep one of them for contact with friends, but limit your hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if you feel like you can't do that, I recommend you know, parental apps where you can lock a phone as if a child was using it, and set a password, or get someone else to set a password for you. Just so that's, you know, boundaries, so you can really focus on what you want to do. And
from there, use this as a turning point to walk away from YouTube, to take a break, and come back when you're better. And I want to say this. I really wish you the best. I wish you the best. I truly do. And I'm sure Joseph feels it. I wish you the best. And I hope you do get better. And I hope that things in your life get better.
I have faith that he will, and I don't believe in anything. So
no. Well, I'm definitely the same way. I have a lot of faith, and I do believe things will get better for you, and you will get better, more importantly.
Well, I hope to, you know, do more with space, because, you know, that's my favorite thing, like the universe and stuff. So I hope
I'd like to throw a concept at you, Ticcy. How would you feel if you took a break for about a year, focused on your space stuff, focused on anything passion-wise that you want to do, and maybe you come back on the show in about a year's time?
I would love to.
I think that'd be very interesting. I would love to have you on in a year's time and see some growth. And I mean that, Ticcy. I want you to walk away from this, and I want you to acknowledge and understand everything we've said here, and take it and just work with it. You know, take the break, take time away, you know, and acknowledge you have acknowledged what you've done, but also acknowledge your past. You've got a lot of things, Ticcy, I think, behind the scenes that people need to not that other people need to know, but you need to get off your chest. Here was, I feel like, just the beginning, talking about, you know, you know, not getting enough attention, love, physical love, and actual affection from your mother. That's something that I think you definitely need to talk about with your therapist. And I think as well, obviously, going about, you know, talking about you know, being sexually assaulted. These are very, you know, big things. And it does explain, and I'm sure if you tell your psychiatrist and whatnot, or psychologist about this, they'll tell you the same. These are very big things, and it will help really understand more for them, if you haven't told them already, about what you're dealing with. And I really, really want you to take a break, and I want you to use this as like the turning point right here, right now, to take a break. And if you do, man, come back in a year, and we will get you on the show, and we'll make a part 2 to this, the follow-up.
No, I will. I was already planning on actually taking the break. So.
All right. Promise us that. I want you to say this here. I want you to, before we leave this tonight, and I want you to live, but like, you know, with this obviously recording, I want you to say that to us again. I want you to say it to me. I want you to say it to Joseph. I want you to say it to everybody. I want you to, for one, obviously, one last time at least, of course, apologize, especially for that last video. I think you should delete that, the video that you made with Greek. Thank you. I think that was the right thing to do, and I think just here one more time, you should apologize for your actions, and then just, you know, that should be it. You should apologize and do promise me that you're going to take this break, and that you're serious about this, man, because you know, Ticcy, I wish you the best. And with this kind of subject, I've had a lot of criticism, and I know Joseph knows already about it. I've had a lot of criticism from friends that, you know, I shouldn't be doing this with you, we shouldn't do this episode with you, we shouldn't do this, and I disagree with that, because I think that this definitely can help.
I'm extremely happy we went against the majority.
Definitely. I'm happy that we went against the majority with that, and I think we got an amazing result. But Ticcy, I think it would mean a lot to everybody, not just to me and Joseph, but to everybody watching, and all the people that have been affected, whether they watch it or not, that you give a sincere apology one last time here, and then you take the break.
And you can leave it buried, and you can come back a better man.
And exactly, bro.
I want to apologize to, I don't want to say her name, the person that was involved with what I did. And everyone knows how much I love Fox, and I mean it on his life, on how much I'm sorry. And I also want to promise to Catman Joe that I'm not gonna do any YouTube streaming, anything with the internet, I'm gonna take my break, and I will see you guys in a year, all happy and better with my life.
Good man. I believe that, man, and I wish you the best once again, bro. I really do. And we will see you in a year. Like, bro, believe me, we will see you in a year, and you'll be a better person. All right.
The podcast is always watching.
It always is. But we, bro, we'll have you back in here in a year, man. But I want you to really work on yourself, bro. And once again, man, I wish you the best. I really, truly do, man. And I'm sorry you had to go through and you've had to deal with what you've had to deal with throughout your life. But I hope that you use this as a good turning point to really change things.
Yes, thank you.
So good, man. Well, I think on that note, Joseph, I think you'd agree. I think it's time we end the episode.
I agree.
This has been a phenomenal episode. We've been trying to get this planned out for a very long time, and I got to say, Ticcy, once again, it was good to have you on the show, and I really do appreciate your genuineness and your honesty, and your bravery, really, to admit what you made to. Yeah, and your sincerity, exactly. To everybody watching, we hope that you all found this. I wouldn't say enjoyable. I wouldn't say we don't hope that you enjoyed it, but we hope
everyone
found it interesting.
Involved got their closure, and I hope those who wanted to tune in got some interesting,
results,
cynical amusement out of it. But I feel like everyone is going to have some sort of opinion, and I really want to see what everyone thinks in the comments as well.
Definitely,
this is a very good time to give him your own personal criticism as well, but remember not to witch hunt, because we're all people here.
Exactly, and that's it. Well, on that note, everybody, thank you so much for watching the show. We hope you all enjoyed episode 21 of the Forgotten Podcast featuring Ticcy. Once again, Ticcy, thank you for coming on the show. Joseph, thank you again for being here as the co-host, of course, and obviously the main man himself. And once again, thank you to me, this gorgeous cat, of course. We really do hope you guys enjoyed this show. If you guys did, please be sure to drop a like in it, subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and we'll be on Spotify in a few days to listen to it there as well, and check out some of our upcoming episodes.